When the winds reached 185 miles per hour and waves rose nearly 4 meters high, Jamaica faced the strongest hurricane in its recorded history, Hurricane Melissa, a Category 5 storm that tore across the island on October 28, 2025. More than 1.5 million people were affected. Entire towns disappeared under floodwaters, and over 70% of the country lost power in a single night. In this video, I am inviting you to try and analyze past astro events and how these cosmic alignments could have been predicted using Vedic astrology, astrocartography, and even asteroids and fixed stars that mark the world's fault lines of fate. This is not about fear, it's about learning how this sky speaks before disaster strikes. So let's trace the invisible geometry that connected the heavens above to the hurricane below. And the main part of the video will be a screen recording because I want to show the charts of Jamaica and Astrocartography chart. So the chart that I found is Jamaica from August 6, 1962. I think it's in the Independence Day. And the time is 9:38. This is what other astrologers use. I found it a few days ago, so in order for me to make a rectification, a proper rectification, it can take days, sometimes weeks. So let's trust other astrologers with this chart. Now, first and foremost, when we open any chart, we watch the period. The period is Mercury, Venus, and right from that, we can see that Venus is in the first house and it's debilitated. And again, it's debilitated in D4 chart, which symbolizes land, real estate, and happiness of the people. And it's aspecting with the seventh aspect, the fourth house of the land. So right from there, we can see that the possibility of unfortunate events, considering the body, the first house and Rasi, and 410 axis in D4 chart, again, aspecting the fourth house. So it can affect the land, the infrastructure, and the real estate. So the first chart that I am going to analyze will be a lunar eclipse. You can watch my lunar eclipse video. I have two parts of it. I made it in the beginning of September, if I believe. So we can see the chart of lunar eclipse here. And of course, we need to make it as a transit on Jamaica's natal chart. First and foremost, what goes right away is that moon that is heavily afflicted, of course, during lunar eclipse with the Rahu. It is right on the natal Jupiter, which is ruler of the fourth house. And then right from there, we start to decode this thing. So the eclipse striking the planet that rules the foundation and territory in this chart. And in my lunar eclipse video, this is exactly what I said. I emphasized the following main topics that can unfold within next 6 months. It's shifts in global resource power, regime collapses, assassinations, east-west confrontations, nuclear danger, and new technological cycles. Another my little literal words that I said in that video: spiritual lightning. Achernar, because it's connected with the star Achernar, plus Uranus. It's a squaring Uranus, I believe. It's a purification by storm. People jolted into new awareness, sometimes violently. And something to add, now afterwards that we're witnessing the Prince Andrew headlines, I said sudden exposures, files drop, secret leak, hidden truths forced into daylight, fits perfectly with Epstein investigations and possible disclosure movements globally. Now let's look closer in astrocartography. This is the lunar eclipse chart. This is the chart, and we go directly to the map. The lines in astrocartography acts within, some people say 300 kilometers, some people say 1,000 kilometers, but I see that Saturn and Neptune local space lines are not far from this area, from the Jamaica. And local lines, it's not about longitude and it's not about latitude. It's about direction, about where the planetary energy radiates from this exact location. And so when Saturn and Neptune passes or near a place, it describes this energetic axis of disillusionment, testing, and spiritual redefinition. Again, Saturn is boundaries, it builds its structure, its duty, and Neptune dissolves. It blurs boundaries, returns everything to the ocean of unseen. And this is like a sort of alchemy zone. And in the chart of Jamaica, the Saturn and Neptune, they are sitting during all these times, during lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, during sun ingression that we're going to talk today about. It's all aspecting directly the first house. So it's emphasizing direct possibility, direct flag. Now, asteroid volcano, it's very close to transit Mars here. In Mars, we see here during lunar eclipse, transit Mars is right on the natal moon, and it's together with asteroid volcano. So moon is a symbol of the people. Mars, in this chart especially, it's a ruler of the worst 8th and 3rd house together. So Mars ignites and volcano erupts, but it doesn't have to be literal volcano, of course. So it's it can be the unleashing of elemental force upon the masses. So again, we saw that eclipse activated the Jupiter land. The planetary lines are surrounded the island, Saturn and Neptune, and they're walking around this degree, not a very good one, the whole year starting March eclipse 2025. And Mars volcano on natal moon struck this the masses of people, right? And on top of this, Venus also, the Antardasha of Venus. So when we analyze anything in astrology, we're not looking for just one or two things. It should be combination of multiple things. And when we look for disastrous event, we look for sequence of events. It doesn't, when there's just one event triggering something, it doesn't mean anything. We need to see sequence of events, how it's unfolding. Now, the next will be a solar eclipse chart. And solar eclipse chart, this is it, and it's 21st 21st of September. And we see here that it's sitting, so it's basically sun and moon in 4 degrees degree of Virgo, directly opposing Saturn and Neptune sitting in the 4th house. And by the way, I forgot to mention Saturn is also expecting the 4th house of natal chart of Jamaica, again afflicting it. And during lunar eclipse, Mars was in the 1st house, aspecting again 4th house. So this is like a double red flag. Actually, I forgot to mention it. Now here, Venus Antardasha is happening now, right? And it's Venus in the 1st house, debilitated. And Sun and Moon is happening in exact degree of Venus, 4 degree of Virgo. So again, another red flag that something is about to happen with the body of a nation, with the people, especially with the moon being not that far in the same house. Saturn, Neptune, I said about this. In here, very important to notice that it's all happening with a fixed star, Benetnash or Al-Qaid. It's the last star in the tail of a great bear and known in ancient text as a mourner. Traditionally, eclipses on Benetnash mark mass grief, mourning rituals, and the fall of structures that once felt eternal. It's a star that presides over ending funeral processions in the heavens. This is my exact words, and this is another. I'm taking this from the video of solar eclipse in September that I did, I believe. This star is associated with mass death, mourning rituals, disasters, and collapses of structures. Eclipses on Benetnash carry a tragic undertone. And this is not just eclipse on this star, it's also eclipse on natal planet that is activated by planetary dashas. So this is the planet that rules the period of this country right now. So it's yet another click here. I don't know if I hope I would be able to see something like this in the future when I work with charts, because obviously I didn't. Jamaica was not in the list of the countries and inauguration charts that I was working with during my preparation for eclipses videos and etc. Maybe I should add more and more, but each chart requires attention. So each chart requires sometimes hours of analyzing things. And I don't know if I or if any other astrologer have all this time in hands. Now, in astrocartography, here it is. And you see here in sun ingression chart, solar eclipse chart, there's no lines here. It's the same situation that happened with the Charlie Kirk assassination. The lunar eclipse was not visible in the United States. The lines were not crossing, like there was no different difficult malefic lines, malefic planets lines over Utah, I believe. I checked it. So you see, sometimes just the exact degree is already more than enough. And this is like a hard not to emphasize. Astrocartography definitely can be a complementary tool, but if you don't check the exact degrees, then you're missing the huge part of analysis. So next we will go to the Sun ingression chart. And it's when is it? It was 17th October. And here we have Venus transiting natal Venus just a few days before that. That's another like a sign of activation. This Venus in the 4th degree with a star Benetnash Al-Qaid, the mass mourners. And here, when we see the Sun ingression chart, we need to check which planets are afflicted. First and foremost, of course, Moon. It's with Ketu and under Rahu aspect. So we're going to check Rahu, Ketu, and Moon lines. Normally, also Venus, I would check the lines. Mercury is getting very afflicted here. But let's see. And wait. What is the... Okay, here also Jupiter aspecting Mars. Mars aspecting natal Mars. Also another sign. So it's a double activation of 3rd and 8th house of transformation and changes and death. Now, in Astrocartography, let's open Sun ingression chart. And here, well, hello. What do we see here? We see node Rahu, descendant line, right in the middle of Jamaica. So when the moon gets affliction by nodes, it can symbolize this fear, hysteria in mass. And this collective emotion can have chances to turn into this phase of volatility. Rahu here adds this unpredictability, amplification and unpredictability, this vortex sort of. So Rahu descendant line marks places where the collective shadow meets the external world through confrontation and exposure. It's where hidden karmas surface through the other, enemies, partners, or the very forces of nature. Under this line, reality becomes distorted, events escalate suddenly. It often can bring crises, obsessions, and collective awakenings and feel faded, almost theatrical in their intensity. So, here, just a little bit of experiment. So the Sun ingressed in 17th October, and we already have a lunar and solar eclipse activating the trigger points. And now I googled when actually the Hurricane Melissa started and when it reached its maximum. So it started. It's the first monitored the tropical wave was on October 16, right the day before Sun ingression. So the Rahu nodes were like coming towards the Jamaica. Then here happened Sun ingression. And then on October 21st, it was named Melissa. Let's put October 21st. 21st. And then it started to grow and grow. And the category 5, it became on 27th October. And check these lines of Saturn coming here. 25th October, it's reaching the Jamaica. In October 27, it's a category 5 storm. 26, look how Moon MCIC lines connecting with the Saturn lines here. And here it goes away. And then Neptune comes right after. And 29th October is the exact peak of the storm, right? When Neptune line reaches the Jamaica. Again, this is a bit experimental. I invite you to watch, to analyze with me. Maybe you will see something that I don't see in whatever is happening here. Ideally, it would be amazing to find the time to document, to analyze all the worst hurricanes and see how it played out together with eclipses before that and ingression charts. And I'm sure once the proper research done and at least 100 hurricanes, I will be able to analyze like this. I will see the pattern. I will see the algorithm because for sure it's there. I'm detrimentally certain. Astrocartography is still a young and experimental language. Just like every branch of astrology, it offers patterns, not promises. When we study eclipses, fixed stars, and planetary lines, we're not claiming to control fate. We're simply learning to read the whispers of the cosmos. At best, astrology can indicate potential, point toward areas of tension or blessing, but it cannot override the greater order of life. Because in the end, God's will is stronger than any of our calculations, any of our intentions. The sky reveals possibilities, the divine decides the outcomes. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will continue my research in astrocartography. This is my new passion together with mundane astrology, and I hope one day it will get to the point where prediction will be more than 90%, 80%. I mean, even 50% is good enough to prevent, if it helps to save lives and prevent disastrous outcomes. See you in the next video. Bye.